Hello, could you give us an introduction to who you are and what your company does?
Hi, I'm Julian Brown. I head up AREVA UK in the wind business. AREVA is a global manufacturer of zero carbon energy solutions, and the wind turbine business is based in Europe, and we make an offshore specific 5 megawatt wind turbine. This is a pretty powerful piece of kit, purposely designed for the offshore market. It sits on, as you can see, the model behind me. It sits on a tower about 100 meters high, sitting in on the seabed, in something in the order of 20 to 30 meters of water, and it generates 5 megawatts of electricity. We're pretty proud of this. It's a development that came out of Germany. AREVA acquired a German business called Multibrid. That's how we got into the market, and is now taking that on a more international scale. Been very successful in markets in France, where we've secured a very large project. In fact, so large we're going to build a factory in France to supply it. And my job is to do the same in the UK. So we're actually looking to secure orders in the UK and to build industrial facilities to supply those contracts.
And could you describe what's particularly unique and innovative about the design of the different aspects of the turbine?
Sure. What's special about our turbine is that about 10 years ago a bunch of engineers sat down and said, well, for an offshore specific turbine with a clean sheet of paper, what would you do? What would you do understanding the distance it is from land, from where the maintenance people will be operating, the cost and frequency by which you can go and look after it, so you have to design it to be able to stand on its own for long periods of time. The tough environment that it's in terms of salt water, in terms of waves, in terms of all the things that can happen out at sea, how you're going to get on and off it. All these things purpose designed, and then you've got to think about the reliability. If you think about a motor car will hit its design life, if you drive it continuously, it'll hit its design life in around about 9 months. These turbines are operating out at sea in over 20 years, so we have to design it to be able to last for a very long time with very infrequent visits. And of course you can't, if it stops working and the wind's howling, you can't just pop outside to go and fix it. So you've got to design it to be able to do an awful lot remotely. It's full of remote monitoring and conditioning equipment, so that we can actually track what is happening to manage the systems internally. So it's very much specifically designed for the environment that it's operating in. It has a very low tower head mass. Obviously the cost of putting all that weight up high is very considerable. So actually we put a lot of the complex transformers, power converters, switchgear in the bottom of our tower, which is a unique design to us. It has positive air pressure in the sense we manage the air quality inside the turbine, so there's no damp, salty air getting to any of our equipment. It's all clean, dry air, and it's another one of the sort of detail features that figures in the design. In terms of its electrical design, it's what we call a mid-speed turbine. It's operating at a fairly low generator speed in the order of sort of 150 RPM. The rotor on the front is turning at around about 10 RPM, so you've got about a factor of 15 conversion. And we use a permanent magnet generator system, which gives us a low tower head mass. So it's got some specific features which really set it apart as being purpose-built for the market it's in.
And where do you see the design of your turbines going in 5-10 years?
Well, we're pretty happy with the technology and the design concept we've got. So I think our next step, maybe for the next 1 or even 2 steps, will be iterations of this technology, because it's delivering everything it promised. So we're very pleased about that. You go 10 years out, it starts to move into anyone's guess, and of course as turbines get bigger, you start to introduce other factors which may make technology shift possible. But I think we have to remember that in our marketplace, this is a piece of power plant, so it's a marketplace that demands reliability. And so proven track record and credibility are key ingredients, so technology will not change that quickly. So whilst you might see a lot of new ideas out there in the marketplace for new wild and wacky inventions, for power plant, these will be adopted at a fairly slow pace. So having a solid, reliable machine like this really gives us a very strong place to start from.
Thank you very much.